people connect. Hopefully everyone's doing well. Got Coach Josh on, Coach Lindsey, Coach Lauren. We'll let kind of people get connected here. Super excited to have everybody on. As we're kind of letting people connect to the Wi-Fi and connect to the chat. Hey, buddy. Why doesn't everybody in the chat just follow suit? So I am in Minnesota. So where is everybody coming from? I'm coming from Minnesota. Where's everyone else coming from today? AZ. We got Boston, El Paso, Texas, Maryland, Virginia, Ontario, Rochester, Minnesota, Argentina. That's awesome. Iowa, Chicago, Howard County, Maryland, Ottawa, Tierra del Fuego.
Hey, someone's missing the Rangers Devils game to be here. That means we're doing something right, guys.
That's commitment right there.
Absolutely. Fenton, Michigan. Ooh, England. Cool. Emily's from Minnesota, Connecticut. Buddy missing the game. Love it. Ontario. Barrie, Ontario. Am I saying that right?
Yes, you are.
Love it. We got an Ontario gal in here, so I got to be careful there.
One of our virtual hockey school kids from the Coyotes is on here.
Nice.
Alex Kish. What's up, dude?
Alaska, Michigan. Cool. Looks like we already got 30 people in here, which is awesome. We'll get started in about 2 minutes and see people will probably jump in and go from there. But super excited to have everybody. Eric and Kevin, I just wrote a workout today and I named it after you guys. You'll see it in the app next week. So it's going to be awesome. Make sure you guys crush it. I don't know what day it's on. It's either, I don't know what day it's on. I don't even want to guess, but it's called Ian K. Muez. So it's going to be awesome. All right. What's up, Carson? You're not in the car in full gear tonight. Love it. Carson usually catches these things in his full hockey gear, ready to go into the rink.
Mm-hmm. It's awesome.
Yeah. All right. Eric and Kevin, no need to say thanks. You guys have been putting in the work. It's been awesome to watch. All right. More people in the chat. Ready to roll, ladies?
I'm ready.
Cool. Well, welcome to Project Mindset. This is a little project spearheaded by two of the best in the business, who I'll introduce in a second. But we're super excited to bring this to you guys and gals. It'll be something outside of Project Hockey, but still under the umbrella. And so we're super excited to bring two of the best in the business. We've got Lauren Williams, if maybe you want to wave. She played at Wisconsin, University of Wisconsin, so kind of the rivals of Minnesota State, but that's okay. We'll let that go. And she is a professional hockey player and a mental performance coach. We're super, super lucky to have her. I know she'll dive a little bit deeper into her story as well. And then to my right, depending on where my camera is, we got Lindsey Fry, who in my opinion is probably the greatest women's player and probably top two to come from the state of Arizona, if you're asking me, right? And so Harvard alumni and also U.S. Olympic medalist as well. So she played at the highest level you could for the women's game. And so super excited to have these two on here. And if you're wondering who the first Arizona player, it's not me. I put Austin Matthews there, but super excited to have you girls on and super excited for the turnout so far and continue to grow this thing. But welcome to Project Mindset. Brady, glad you got your helmet on there. So show us yours, ladies.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Danny. Well, I can go first. This is super fun, you guys. I love doing this stuff. I love coaching the hockey side, but as I tell my story a little bit, you guys will hear that the mindset side is actually probably more important to me and what I enjoy coaching even more, because I think it's one of the most important parts of the games that a lot of people don't really know how to teach, and a lot of players don't take the time to learn. So the fact that you guys are here is already a huge win, in my opinion, because this means you want to get better, you want to get that edge, and you want to be just the best hockey player that you possibly can be. So, like Danny said, my name's Coach Lindsey. I did grow up in Arizona, and there was hardly any girls hockey here when I was growing up. So I actually played with the boys all the way up until I was in high school. When I was in high school, I actually had to leave home to go play on a team in Colorado, which was an amazing experience, had a ton of fun, and was fortunate enough, like Danny said, to get recruited to go play at Harvard University and play Division I hockey there. When I went from high school to college, I really struggled mentally. It was really tough for me to adjust. I left home, I was away from my family. All of a sudden I was playing with people who are bigger, stronger, faster, older than me in college, which was a big transition. I had to handle all my schoolwork on top of playing hockey, which was a new thing for me to balance. And so it was really tough. So I actually kind of struggled my first couple years of college. And I didn't know if I started college in 2010 and I played on the 2014 Olympic team. So my first 2 years of college, like 2010 through 2012, it was kind of unclear if I was going to have an opportunity to even make the Olympic team. I wasn't really one of the best players. I had a lot of potential, but I was just I was just in my head all the time. I would overthink things. I would have trouble managing my time. I would have trouble staying locked in on what I needed to do to be the best athlete I could be. I would struggle with my mindset a lot. I'd get really negative sometimes, and that kind of held me back. So it really was for me a change of mindset and working on a lot of the different mental performance skills that we're going to work on in this class. That really was the difference maker for me between making the Olympic team in 2014 and not making the team. So I'm super passionate about this, like I said, because I think that mental performance is what is the difference between the good players and the great players in our game. And looking at this screen, looking at who all showed up right now, I think we've got a lot of great players on here. So that's me. Pass it off to you, Lauren.
Yeah, absolutely. So excited to see all of you here, some familiar faces. I appreciate you guys checking in every week and tuning in to the Mental Minutes. I love providing that content for you and getting to help you out with your mental game because, I mean, as Lindsey just said, it is so important. And the best players in the game have figured out how to build a rock solid mental routine for themselves so that they can do the one thing that the best players in the game can do, and that is show up and play consistently at a high level. So a little bit about me. Coach Danny mentioned that I played my hockey at the University of Wisconsin. I was there for 4 years and then played 2 years professionally leading up to this year. And I faced a lot of my mental struggles when I was somewhere around probably some of the older kids in this room, right? When I was in high school, I had to move away from home because my hometown didn't have a whole lot of opportunities for girls hockey either. And when I moved away from home, I was a homebody, leaving my parents and everything that I was familiar with and going to a new school, hanging out with new people. And within, a couple months of me moving away, I was dealing with a lot of things that I hadn't had to handle before. I ended up finding out that my mom got sick and I was on a new team where everybody was way better than all of my previous teammates had been. And I was struggling to compete with them as well. So I went from being like this big fish in a small pond to being a tiny minnow in the ocean. And I really struggled to figure out how to show up and play consistently. And it took me getting to a pretty low place before I figured out that I needed to get some help. And that's when I started working with a mental performance coach. And basically what she was able to teach me was how to handle all of the emotions that I was feeling, because I was very much a player that would make a mistake and get super down on myself and really ruminate on all the negative stuff and focus entirely on all the mistakes that I had made, forget about all the good stuff. Right. So I got into pretty negative spaces that way. And she taught me how to focus on the positive things, how to focus on the things that I could control, and how to handle the emotions that I was feeling so that I could start to show up for myself and my teammates and play at that peak performance potential that I knew that I was capable of reaching. I'm sure that some of you guys have heard your coaches say, well, you have so much potential. We just have to figure out how to find it. Well, that's what I had to figure out too. So now, as a high performance coach, that's what I spend my days doing, is working with athletes like yourself, helping them figure out how to do things like build confidence, show up and play consistently, and all that good stuff. So I'm super excited, just as Lindsey said, to get this going with all of you. I can't wait to see more of you guys as we tune in throughout our sessions. But yeah, that's what I've got, Lindsey.
Awesome. All right. So you guys have heard us kind of talk about our stories, why this matters to us. But Lauren, if you could, like there's probably kids on this call going, okay, you guys are saying this is important. You're saying mental performance matters. You're saying mindset matters. But what is mental performance training? Like, what is it that these kids are actually here for, looking to learn over this course that we're hopefully going to have most of these athletes in?
Yeah, so this is a great question, right? What is mental performance training? And I get this question a lot because everybody sees the physical side of the game, right? The physical training you have to do in the gym or at practice. But we've all heard the saying, 90% of sports is mental, right? But we spend 90% of our time training our physical bodies, and we leave that last 10% to that mental aspect. So we're kind of reversed in that. And the easiest way that I can describe what mental performance training is learning how to train that voice in your head that you hear when either you make mistakes or you do good things on the ice or in the gym, training it to have a more positive conversation with yourself, right? So instead of making a mistake and hearing that negative voice pop up, how can we train it to have a more positive perspective on what we're doing? And brain training helps give you strategies that you can use to pick yourself back up after you make mistakes, to solidify the victories that you get along the way, and to really make sure that you are able to show up consistently. Because at the end of the day, if you're not practicing this brain training stuff, you're leaving your performance up to chance. And as aspiring elite athletes, we know that we've got to be better than leaving our performance up to a 50-50 chance, right? So that's what brain training is all about.
Awesome. And just so you guys know, so I work for the Arizona Coyotes. So I work for an NHL hockey team, which is a ton of fun. And our NHL players have a mental performance coach. They have someone working with them on this stuff, just like they have someone working with them in the gym. So you guys are literally getting access to a type of coaching that not many other teams have. Like, how many of you guys, raise your like actual hand or your little virtual hand button if your hockey team has a mental performance coach currently? No hands, right? This isn't something that you guys normally get, but this is something that athletes at the highest level, whether it's college, whether it's some high school, but mostly college or Olympic or professional or NHL, those are the athletes that get this. And you guys are going to get access to all of this, which is going to be amazing. So let's go through unless Coach Lauren, you've got something else you want to add.
No, you hit the nail on the head. But I will say, even in college, we didn't have access to this. So you guys are on the cutting edge here.
True. We got like a day with a coach once. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen here really quickly. And we're just going to go through, and this is going to be recorded. So if there's anything that you're like, oh man, I wanted to go back to that, we'll make sure to share these so you don't have to have this. You don't have to write anything down or anything. But we're just going to go through what you're actually going to be learning in this class, because I think it can sometimes seem a little, it's hard to actually know what it is that we're talking about. So we're going to go through we're going to have a bunch of different topics. I'll get to this in a second, but this is going to be a 10-week long class. And it's going to be super, super inclusive of all these different concepts. So the first thing we're going to talk about, Coach Lauren and I have been saying it a lot, mindset, mindset, mindset. So we're actually going to spend 2 weeks just figuring out what this concept of mindset actually is. So we're going to spend 2 weeks working on that. Then we're going to move on to motivation and commitment. How do we actually get ourselves motivated? How do we stick to the goals that we set for ourselves to be the best athletes we can be? Then we're going to go on to focus and awareness. You know, once we know what our goal is, we get really excited about it. How do we actually stay locked in? How do we stay focused and really know who we are to be able to figure out how we can continue to do the things day in and day out that we want to do? We're going to talk about self-control, okay? Self-control and discipline. These are things that the highest level athletes are able to do. Things like saying no to something you want in the moment so you can get what you want more than anything in the long run. We're going to talk about process over outcome, okay? Focusing on more on what we're doing day in and day out rather than the giant goals we have for ourselves at the end of the season or the end of the year, whatever it is. We're going to do some mental imagery stuff. We're going to actually visualize the things that we want. We're going to talk about routines and habits. How do we do things over and over and over to kind of chip away at the things that we want? How do we manage our time? This is a really tough one, especially for you athletes who are a little bit older. Maybe you're in middle school, you're getting ready to go to high school. It's a lot to manage. The higher up you get in school, the higher up you get in your sport, it becomes a lot to juggle everything. So we're going to teach you how to do that. And then for those of you who want to be leaders, maybe are a captain for your team right now, or maybe want to be a captain for your team someday, or just be a leader in general, we're going to talk a little bit about leadership, because a lot of leadership also leans on mental performance skills. Mm-hmm. So what does the class actually look like? So we told you that it's going to be 10 weeks. And we're going to start on May 4th, okay? So it's coming up pretty quickly, but we want to hit the ground running. We want this to be something that you guys are able to work on over the summer and actually start applying to your life, so that when you are ready for or going out for tryouts, or you're getting ready to start your season in the fall, you're so mentally sharp and you've got all these skills dialed in and you're ready to use them. So we want to get going pretty quickly. Each week, so there's going to be 2 video lessons per week. They won't be on the same day. It'll be kind of like what you guys do already in your Project Hockey app, where you're able to just go in, watch the videos, and then there'll be a module that'll go along with the videos. These are things where you'll fill them out on your computer or on your phone, and that's how we know that you're actually doing the things to work on the mental skills that we're teaching you. Then once a week, so after we get through the lessons and the modules for mindset, okay, at the end of that week, it's actually, the week isn't going to start Monday through Sunday. It's going to be more like Thursday through Wednesday. So the end of the week will be on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern time, or if you're on Pacific time like me, it'll be at 4 p.m. That's when we're going to go through, and we're actually going to talk to you guys live like we're doing now about all the different skills that we learned. We're going to ask you guys, what did you struggle with this week? What did you learn this week? And we're going to have just this awesome conversation about all the different things that we were learning. And then I think this is the coolest part, because I love certifications. I love medals. I love trophies. I'm sure you guys do too, because you're competitive hockey players. Is if you finish all your modules, which I'm assuming all of you will, because you're going to jump into this class and you're going to want to do the best you can. You will get a Mindset Master certificate at the end of this, and a little gift from Project Hockey. So it's going to be a ton of fun. We are going to be working hard, obviously, just like you do, like Coach Lauren said, right? We work hard on the ice, we work hard getting stronger, and we're going to work real hard in this while also having fun to make our minds stronger. So I know that was a lot of information. Like we said, this is going to be recorded for you guys. You'll have access to this little presentation, so you can have it for yourself or show your parents. They'll be able to see it. But who has, I'm sure there's a lot. I'm going to stop sharing this. Raise your hand if you've got questions. If there's something that we can help you answer leading into to this mindset class.
I'm seeing one, Lindsay. Somebody asked in the chat, just wondering how long is this?
So it's going to be 10 total weeks. Are you asking like how long the videos and the live lessons are going to be? Izzy and Benji? I can tell you okay, so the videos are going to be pretty short. So they're going to be like max 5 minutes, Coach Lauren. I mean, they're going to be
yeah
nothing crazy. So
yeah,
that'll be quick. These conversations though, we'll probably go for like half an hour. If we're having just an amazing conversation, we might go a little longer. If you guys are quiet that particular day, we might go a little shorter, but it's not going to be crazy time intensive. Good question.
That was a great question. Yeah. Does anybody else have any other questions?
That sounds like someone who already knows how to manage their time.
Yeah.
Who wants to be brave? I want to see who our brave people are in this. Even if you don't have a question, somebody tell me like what gets you the most excited about learning about mental performance. Brady, you've got your hand up.
That there's just so much we can do with it, like when I'm going into a big championship next season, I can use these skills to help me dial in and play my best.
Heck yeah. I love that, Brady. Thanks for being brave. Oh, so that's a good question. Hey, Coach Danny or Coach Josh, somebody's asking what Project Hockey is. Can somebody explain Project Hockey versus what we're talking about right now with mindset? Here, Josh, there you go. If you want to unmute yourself.
Hey, yeah, Project Hockey is more of a, mindset's part of it. We also do some stuff with like stick handling and strength and speed. So kind of anything really hockey development related, just like, and then specifically like dry land and like some speed and strength stuff coming up.
Cool.
Absolutely. You said it great, Josh. Project Hockey is something, I mean, we've got over 1,000 members who do it, and we don't have a price nailed down for this because we're trying to work with a sponsor to get it all even more affordable for you, which we've already got it down really cheap for this kind of stuff. But Project Hockey members will get a discount on the price. And so like Coach said, what Bernie said there is Project Hockey is just it's a way for you to train at home. It's a way for you to work on your skills at home. But like I think Lauren said it earlier, just the idea that, or maybe it was Lindsay, you spend 90% or whatever on your body and you don't spend enough time on your mind. I think that's the same thing with Project Hockey. And so we really want to offer an opportunity, and what better opportunity with two of the best in the business. So absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah, and just so you guys know, Project Hockey is more like they're saying it's a lot of the hockey specific, like physical training, skill training. You don't have to be signed up for that to do the mindset class. You just get a discount if you're already a Project Hockey member. So that, just to make that clear. Someone's asking about the app for modules. So we're still figuring out all of the logistics within the actual app, but the modules will likely be on Google Classroom. Is that correct, Coach Danny?
Yeah, absolutely. The plan is, and for those of you that are Project Hockey members, obviously we use an app. And so a lot of it will be inside of the Project Hockey world. But as far as like getting your worksheets and getting your modules and getting your information, that's more tangible, meaning you can actually write on it and work with it and do different things. The best way that we're figuring out right now is Google Classroom. And so we're in the process of setting that up. And tonight's more about meeting the best and letting kind of just figuring out what the plan is and going from there. But yeah, we'll do all that. But someone asked, is this program a part of our Project Hockey membership? There will be a big discount for Project Hockey members. And so if you are a Project Hockey member, you will get a big discount on that. And so stay tuned. All that information will be coming out very shortly. We just wanted to get this out here and get people excited about it because, I mean, this is arguably the most important part of the game. And so we're excited to bring this to the world.
Yep. And kind of a similar question that came in, does the 10-week mindset course have any cost? It will have a cost. I mean, it's like less than, I mean, it's very inexpensive. So we're going to get the cost information out soon. Like Coach Danny said, we're trying to get a sponsor so it can be even cheaper. But yeah, it's super affordable. Think about less than like a stick time lesson. Or
I was just going to say it's less than what I spend on skate sharpening per week. And so right now I'm spending more to get my skate sharpened every week than I would be on this. And so again, we're just trying to bring it down because a huge mission of Project Hockey is just to bring affordable training to kids. And so but when you think about the space that mental performance is, it's a different world. And so we're trying to bring on sponsors, and hopefully we can do that. Hopefully it's going to be Unreal, which is the shirt Lindsey's wearing, which will be the hats and stuff that kids will get when they join. And so it's going to be awesome. But all the price information, all that stuff will come out. If you're a part of this, that means we have your emails. And so you'll get all that information here pretty shortly.
Awesome. Ava asked, you said the class would start May 4th. Is this when we would start Zoom classes or exercises? So we are not really going to be, if you mean exercises for like the modules that you'll actually be able to like write stuff down and apply the things that we're talking about. So the way that it's going to work is on Thursday through like Saturday, you'll have access to videos depending on how many. Those are all pre-recorded. You can watch them anytime you want. They're, like we said, they're not very long. You can watch them on your way to hockey practice or whenever you want to. And then from there, you'll have access to like the actual written modules. And those are more like, those are really for you to keep. So it's, you may work on them once and then 10 weeks goes by and you've learned all this stuff and you're like, wow, I want to go back to the first week with the mindset stuff, and you'll still be able to go in and make changes to it and edit it. So those are live documents that you get to keep forever to continue to use for as long as you guys keep playing. And then we'll do the live Zoom class on Tuesdays.
Yeah. And May 4th is a Tuesday. So we'll start with like a kickoff live Zoom meeting where we can all get to know each other and start, building the community that is Project Hockey, but bring it over to the mindset space. And you guys can ask us any questions that you may have as we start, but more so it'll be just to get to know each other and start to build that bond. Okay. And then somebody asked, is this series only available for players or would there be materials beneficial for coaches? And I mean, Lindsey, you can talk to this too, at being a coach at many levels, right? I think that for coaches, this information is awesome to have. If you go through this with that lens of, okay, well, how could I apply this to my own players? I think that's one of the best ways to do things, to learn by doing. So absolutely, these materials can be used for, or is beneficial for coaches, I should say.
Totally. And I think, I mean, that's something we've kind of tailored this to young athletes, but I mean, that could definitely be something down the line where, I think coaches can absolutely jump in on this first series down the line. Who knows? Maybe we have a youth track and a coach track. So we're not quite there yet, but I think down the road, it's absolutely applicable. I mean, I use this stuff every day with my athletes. And this kind of like Coach Lawrence said, I mean, I had a mental performance coach and I use a lot of what he taught me and pass it on to my athletes. So it's super important and good to use. So is it just for goalies, or is it also for goalies or just players? This is for everyone. We were both players, but I think that goalies definitely need a lot of the mindset training for sure. So I think this is applicable for goalies, forwards, defensemen, coaches, parents. I mean, this is stuff that I use in my life outside of hockey. So these are skills that anybody and everybody can take with them forever.
Yeah, there's something that I like to say to every athlete that I work with is I call it brain training for athletes, but this is brain training for life, right? Like Lindsey said, all of this stuff is stuff that I use every single day of my life, right? Like you would never guess it, but I used to be the shyest person in the world, hated meeting new people. And now I'm sitting here in front of, we were at 35 people at one point, 35 total strangers, and I'm completely cool with it now, right? Because I use some of these brain training skills to manage those feelings of anxiety. So it is absolutely mindset skills and brain training for life.
Totally. Any other questions, you guys? We're going to keep releasing more information over the next couple weeks. And we'll probably do another information call. So with even more stuff that we have or than we have tonight. So hopefully you guys will be able to jump on that. We'll release the date for that soon, just so you guys can really see more like what this thing's actually going to look like, how you can access your different modules, what the videos are going to look like. So this is really just kind of an intro call, getting an opportunity for us to meet you and you guys to meet us. And we're really excited to potentially work with all of you. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right. If we don't have any other questions, Coach Danny, you think we want to wrap it up?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you everyone for coming on. Again, sign up will come out here pretty shortly. We will do some more informational stuff on. So make sure you're checking out our Facebook or Instagram and checking out your email. But it is going to be very limited to who we sign up, just because it's obviously more personable. And so just the understanding that, if you do see it, make sure you jump on it because it will not be open for much longer. We expect this to fill up really fast. And again, pricing, all that stuff will come out very, very shortly. So just keep an eye on things. And if you have any questions, shoot us an email. Just shoot me an email, danny@projecthockey.com. I'll put that in the chat for everybody. And then if you have questions, let us know. But you got a lot of people in the chat saying thank you, ladies. And we're super excited to get this rolling. So do the work and let us know how we can help.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks everyone for hopping on.
See you, team.
Bye, guys. I think I can remove people. Oh, I don't want to report anybody to Zoom. That's not what I want to do.